Don't sing. Don't sing.
It reminds me, the piano rip in that reminds me of the movie Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, when John Candy's going down the road and Buddy's sleeping and he's playing the piano on the dash and pretending
Yeah.
he's playing saxophone. And then he throws the cigarette back there and he can't get
Oh,
out of
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Sets her on fire. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, buff
Fun.
right out.
Yeah, that butt right out. John Candy, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, hey, good evening, everybody.
yeah.
Hey, we're live.
Hey, we're live. Oh, good. Okay.
Right. Live as we can
So,
be.
so first off, top, I'm going to mention this in case the Facebook happens to go off the air. I've been having some issues with Facebook throughout the day today. It's been knocking me out several times. So, if you find an issue with Facebook crowd out here, you know that you can find us over on YouTube at the same place, Astronomy by the Bay, on our YouTube channel. So, hopefully, we'll stay live and we'll see what happens. No singing, Kathy. That's right. No singing.
No singing.
Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to our Sunday night offering of Astronomy Outreach, the Sunday Night Astronomy Show. My name is Chris Kerwin of Astronomy by the Bay. I'm a member of the Royal Astronomical Society of Canada, the New Brunswick chapter, and I'm here in St. John, New Brunswick. And first of all, I'd like to welcome back our two regular co-hosts, Mr. Paul Owen from the Moon Shadow Observatory, another RASC member in Hampton. Hey, Paul.
And this is relevant in tonight's talk.
Yes.
What? Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly. And fellow RASC member, Mr. Mike Powell from the PFO Observatory here in St. John. Hey, Mike.
Hello, everybody.
Hey. Okay. On tonight's episode of the Sunday Night Astronomy Show, we're changing the format up a little bit this week. We had announced that we're going to switch things up a little bit to give it more like a teaching environment in our program. This means that the first half of our program is changing from formal presentations to just a relaxed discussion on a particular topic, and this is in hoping that you'll have a better opportunity to remember specific facts about a particular topic and be able to share those facts with others when you're under a dark sky. We've had that issue with the last year or so of projects. We just feel like we're bombarding you with too much information all at once, and you're walking away and wondering, looking around. What did he say? What was on that last show? Yeah, we do. I don't remember what was on last show, last week, so hard to get our audience to do it. So, yeah. So we're going to concentrate on one main topic each week in our discussion segment. Also, of course, this week our discussion is going to be around the proper winter constellation Orion. Our main constellation up high in the south right now. So we'll have a few fun facts about Orion that you can hang on to and share with friends when you're underneath the night sky. And we'll have our
we because we're going to be talking about Orion, we would love your participation in the conversation. So if something comes to mind, maybe a story about Orion or something, or a fact, anything along those lines, chime in. And we'd like to talk, because it's really not just as a discussion with us, but as a discussion with you guys. So
right, and we don't want just questions either. Give us your comments too, and what you.
No cheating, no reading Wikipedia word for word either.
I better close Wikipedia then.
Well, no, because we'll have it.
Yeah, well, no, because we got the same thing going on. Okay, and we're going to have your regular editions as well, including Rosanna's Fun Facts, Bino Bud's Target of the Week this week, and a look at what's up in the sky this week as well, along with all of your wonderful photo submissions. So sit back, grab your favorite beverage and snack, and enjoy. Remember, this is a family-friendly live broadcast, so if you have any questions about the night sky, in particular about Orion, or comments about Orion,
Right.
we're happy to try and answer them here for you. So let's get started with tonight's program, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to start? Who's got the
We
first
can,
fact about Orion?
we can Google it with the best of them.
Well, you know what? Maybe Chris, you could show
That video?
well, you know what? Maybe before you show the video, let me show the picture,
Yeah. Okay.
and then we'll show the video because I think the video will enhance what we're going to show with the picture.
Okay. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Okay, and let's see if I can find the picture first. I guess that could
You
help.
can explain what you're showing here too. Like,
There,
it's really
picture.
cool.
There it is. I'll put it over here and make it big so everybody can see it, and then I'll share the screen. And right here it is. Okay, so this picture, I'll make it a little bit bigger so it's a little easier to see at home. So Orion, from our perspective, here's Earth. This is where we are. And when we look up into the night sky, we see this two-dimensional constellation called Orion. And there's actually a little bit more. This is a small part of Orion. There's still, of course, the big bow and all that sort of stuff. But typically when we look up, we're looking for that hourglass kind of a look, and that's what we see. But what's really interesting about this, and Chris actually brought a video up last week, which he's going to play in a minute, if we were to actually leave Earth and go out there, it's really interesting what seems like that all of these stars are at the same distance from Earth to us, and they're not. Now, the two brightest stars in Orion are Betelgeuse and Rigel, but here's what's cool. Betelgeuse is 429 light years from us, but Rigel is 777 light years from us. When you look at the nebula, the Orion Nebula, M42, it's 1,350 light years away from us. So it is just unbelievable how when we look at a constellation, our perception of what we think the stars are and where they're placed. But if we left this Earth and went out to space, we would lose our whole orientation as to what's out there because these things would not be in the same formation because they are not two-dimensional. They are not flat. And anyway, so I want to show that picture first, and then do you have the video ready to go?
I think I do. Yeah. I just
Okay, I'm going to stop presenting if you want to. There we go.
Okay, so let me try to present here. So we'll take a little bit of a look at how it really looks, I guess. Let's see where this pops up, first of all.
Yep.
What it pops out? Pops up on the wrong screen, of course. Just a sec. Of all the screens, yeah. Let's try this.
There it is.
Okay.
Perfect.
So the true shape of Orion. I just don't need sound on for this. I'm not sure if there is any sound in it, but.
Yeah, I can talk through it anyway.
Just don't sing to it.
Just one thing.
Well, there's no song that really rhymes with Orion, I don't think. It's like orange. Try to find a word that rhymes with orange.
Orion is crying.
Okay. Duda.
So there's Betelgeuse way up there.
Yep.
There's Rigel down to the bottom.
Sirius way down in the bottom left corner down
And
here.
Sirius.
You can't be serious.
I am serious, and stop calling me Shirley.
So yeah, this helps to add a little bit of perspective on where everything is really located. Not done yet. We're going to go back out a little bit more.
Well, it just shows you if we ever do interstellar travel, we'll never be able to use the constellations to guide ourselves because they don't look the same at all.
Yeah.
No, navigation is definitely the only way to get around up there. Because when you're up there, you don't know what's upside or upside down. There is no upside down up there.
Mm.
Down there.
Out there.
Out there. That's better. Out there.
Look at the distance in those stars, the difference in the distance.
Mm.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, and this is a CGI. If you were, I guess, going around Orion, that's the idea, is it, Chris?
Yeah. Yeah, you're rotating around the whole thing now.
That's weird, man.
Yeah, yeah. Like who would have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it? Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So just a dimensional look at Orion is but not just Orion, of course, all constellations are like that. And I think I remember seeing once the Big Dipper that was actually showed in that with that perspective.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
But there's something there I just noticed that picked up too, and both what you showed, Paul, and both what you showed, Chris, is not really all of Orion. You only showed the main center of it.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. We don't get to see the bow and everything because it's a much bigger constellation than that. There you are.
All you saw was this part. This is the rest of it.
Yeah.
We don't even look at that as part of Orion, because we're all fixated on that center portion with Betelgeuse being the top and Rigel being the bottom.
Yeah, the hourglass looking thing.
Yeah. So right there is when you look up, you try to find these other stars. It's not that easy as you think. They don't just stand out, or at least our sky's maybe not dark enough to see it.
But you know something else about that? What makes that cool is once you find the bow and the I guess it's the arrows in the back of the pouch, I guess. You will start to really see how big Orion really is.
It's huge.
Especially when it's just coming up and you get to start to see the whole thing when it's just coming up. It's just massive.
Crazy big.
Yeah.
So the player is muted. Sorry about that, Andrew. Maybe they weren't hearing us talking during the play, but
no. I think what he means is there was no sound on the video.
And there was no sound.
Yeah, we knew that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, for me, Orion has served as a signpost. So that's kind of the fact I wanted to bring up was how we can look at Orion and find other things like we do with the Big Dipper. The Big Dipper as our summertime constellation gives us an opportunity to find many other constellations by using the Big Dipper to find it. I find the Little Dipper by using the Big Dipper, and then you start working your way through to Draco and then off to Hercules and that kind of thing. But if I could share my screen once more here, I can point out just a few things about it that might make it a little easier to, because it is so large, it gives us an opportunity to look at other things. So if we take Orion in the center of our field of view and we go through Rigel and up through Betelgeuse, we'll end up at Gemini, the two stars of Castor and Pollux, the heads of Gemini, the twins. So it kind of sits almost in the center of the winter. It's part of the winter circle, or winter football, if that's what you want to call it. If we start now from the bottom right, I'll call it, if you were Orion, but bottom left for us, and top right star, right straight through, we'll hit Auriga and Capella in Auriga, the bright star Capella. If we go through the top two stars and feed over to the east part of the sky, we hit Procyon, which is in Canis Minor. Draw another line through the three stars that make up his belt. Continue right on to the right, the bright star or the reddish star, Aldebaran in Taurus. This is that red supergiant star. If you put that in the same place as our sun, it would swallow Mercury, Venus, and Earth would be inside it. And then onto that beautiful cluster of stars called the Pleiades, which we all, well, a lot of people believe that's the Little Dipper, but it's actually called the Pleiades, the seven sisters. And if we go the other direction through the stars of the belt, we go down to the bright star Sirius, which is in Canis Major. So that's how we can use Orion as a signpost.
It's also, Mike, go ahead.
That's it. Great for star hopping.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really neat. Like in when we're at Fundy National Park, because that's getting late in the star party season for us. That's actually we're there Labor Day weekend, so the first weekend of September, and we stay up all night when everybody else is gone beddy bye. And that's the time when we go to bed, when that starts to come up, because it's just before dawn.
Yeah.
And so Orion is the thing that's saying, you know what, winter's just right around the corner. And right now, it's Cygnus, which is starting to come up. And yeah, so now it's and that is of course the summer constellation. So these constellations are really really cool to get used to, and then once you start to know when you see them, you'll know kind of seasonally what's going on, because with like anything in astronomy, it's all based on season and on our orbits and how we're going around the sun and how we're going in our 24-hour cycle. And a lot of people think, oh well, the sun's coming up, but the sun's not coming up. We're going the other way.
Yeah.
But it appears like the sun's coming up because we can't feel or see or detect movement on Earth. And anyway, so it's just cool with all of this stuff. It just goes to show you that we go through a lot of different kind of motions and orbits and spins, and it's anyway, yeah.
You don't get dizzy.
I found your comment. I found your comment earlier, Paul, before we started. Interesting too. It's got that area's got like what 7 or 9 of the brightest stars you're going to see.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's another part of why it stands out so much at night, because man, yeah, that's there they are, the bright ones.
It's the 26th largest constellation as well. Out of all the 88 constellations, the 26th largest, so it's big.
Really?
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned too. There's Stefan says there's so many DSOs in and around it. That's true, Stefan. There is. It's a great area of sky for deep sky treasures for sure. And Claire mentioned Sirius is so bright just now. Sirius, Claire. Sirius is actually the brightest star in the sky. And we get there have been a lot of reports given to police, I'll say, departments across the world when they see Sirius low in the sky and there happens to be a lot of moisture in the sky. They'll get complaints or calls about UFOs because it sits there and twinkles because it is so bright. But yeah, that's a very bright star right in that area, so it's easy to find your way down to Sirius through the 3 belt stars as well.
Did I not hear somewhere it's the most photographed constellation of them all because of the Orion Nebula being so bright?
Yeah,
that's true too.
Yeah, that's a good point, because most people, when they first start photographing nebulas, that's the first one they shoot.
Yeah, well, it's
that
right
one
easy.
or Andromeda.
True. And 2 different times a year.
Yeah, it's funny. You've got a picture, Mike, I think, of a shot you took.
Yeah, I was just hunting through some shots there tonight before we come online, and I found this one that I came across, and because I bought that new Star Adventure, I want to see how well it works. But this was just a picture I took of Orion sitting on my tripod, and it was 30 seconds with my DSLR, non-tracking.
Wow.
So it'll be interesting to see what kind of picture I can get when I do track with it, how long an exposure I can get to bring out so much more of this on the Running Man up here.
Can you make that a little bit bigger? Yeah, thank you.
We come in like that there. See, I was starting to pick up some shades up here.
Yeah.
But for 30 seconds and not tracked, that's pretty good. I forget what the lens was.
That's beautiful. But you know what's cool about that is, just leave it up there for a minute, is because Orion is such a bright nebula with that central core, with the trapezium that's there.
Yeah.
And in that central core, you probably can't see it on Mike's picture, but there's actually, is it 5 or 6 stars? I can see 5 when I image it, and I'm able to image it very, very shortly, and I can actually make out 5 stars. Is there another one?
I think I counted 5. Did we not see a transit there one night too, or from Fundy, or one of the stars popped out from behind another one?
Yeah, it did. Yes, that's right. The thing about amazes me about this nebula was always that it's so bright. And it's 1,400 light years away. I mean, it's massive. I mean, from our perspective, when you look up at Orion and you see that area where the sword is, and you can see it standing right out at you from a dark sky, in binoculars, I mean, reveals it very nicely. So you got to think about how large that really is in comparison to other nebula, where it's 1,400 light years away, and you're still getting that brightness. That much brightness coming back at you. So it's huge.
Well, it's that one and Andromeda are both naked eye.
Yeah.
That's how bright they are.
Yeah, go back out. I mean, that's pretty cool to think you could just whip your camera around and in 30 seconds have a shot like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that one is probably the most photographed nebula, because it's so bright. You can look it up. You can just look at it and you can see it.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't take
there it is.
on the cameras that we use today. The even the smartphones that Chris hooks up to his telescopes all the time. We'll probably take a fairly nice picture of that.
I can sure.
you showed us that picture from 1880, and then another one with a cell phone today. That was pretty.
Yeah, actually, do you have that right
Yeah,
there,
I
Chris?
got it right here.
We came a long way.
So I'll share that one with the cell phone that you were talking about maybe first. So here's somebody who had taken, this is actually from Cloudy Nights formerly. He has an iPhone, and this is his progression over a couple of years, I guess, of improving his view of, or capturing his view of Orion Nebula using an iPhone.
Well, it looks to me, now I could be wrong on this, but the first few that are down on the bottom, you can actually see the trapezium really well in the first two, like the one in the
there.
middle
Yeah.
and the one on the far right.
Yeah.
And then as you start to expose longer, you lose the trapezium because it's so bright.
Right.
Like you look at that picture that's on the very top,
Yeah.
the brightest one, you can't make out the trapezium in that one.
Hmm.
There's a way that you can photograph it, but and I'm wondering, was that what he was doing, or was it just progression? This is my first shot.
I'll have to go back and read up on his story on it, but it was over time. He said that he was taking this. He said just trying to show the results of what an iPhone can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that other photo that you mentioned, I think I got that here somewhere.
Someone was asking, why is it so bright? What is it lit up from behind?
Well, it's the stars in the trapezium that are lighting up, radiating all of that gas that's there, and it's extremely bright. It's a very very bright nebula, and it's fortunate that we can actually see it. But if you try to actually image it with a camera, like with a telescope for any length of time, you actually have to image it in two different, or even three. Some people do it three or four, but you have to image like very very short pictures in the beginning, so you can still get all the core stars, and then you have to image very long exposures, which blows out that whole center of that nebula, but you're able to get all the stuff that's in and around it, and then you have to blend them together. So that's kind of it's one of those targets. They say that it's a beginner's target. It's not a beginner's target if you want to do it correctly. It's a beginner's target because it is probably the one that most beginners start on, because it's so bright in the sky. It doesn't take a long exposure to actually get a picture of it.
Right.
But if you try to do the same thing, say with M33, right, it's not going to happen. You might see some stars, maybe a couple of spirally arms, but you're not going to see anything that's that bright. And so that's why people start with it. But when you're trying to image it and keep the core intact, it's one of the most difficult ones to use, because you really have to know a lot about processing to be able to make so that you can see all of it, right? So it's a tricky one. It's a good one to start with. Don't worry about the core in the beginning. Get all the glorious stuff that's around it, plus the running man. But down the road, you'll eventually want to be able to, tame those stars in the center. But back to, I think that was Joey's question, what makes it so bright? It's the grouping of those really, really hot, bright stars that are just basically igniting all of that gas that's around them.
But that was a fascinating picture you had up there, Chris. The guy, taken in 1880, right? What they got, and then you look at with a cell phone today. Where has technology come? Like,
did you put that up
boom,
yet?
boom.
Yeah, I had it up while you were talking there.
It's just incredible.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Come a long way.
Yeah, so there it is, Henry Draper with an 11-inch telescope with a 50-minute exposure in 1880. That's the first photograph of the Orion Nebula. And then you got Andrew Symes here at an 8-inch telescope, 1 second with an iPhone.
Wow.
So yeah, things have really changed.
That's incredible difference.
There's a question there from Nancy, and she says, "Is there a good app that I can put on my cell phone to help sort out what I am looking at in the night sky?" Chris, you probably have a ton of them.
Well, I mean, I don't look at apps that much. I'm more a Stellarium kind of guy, but I think Starwalk is one of the ones. And what's the one that you use with Sky Portal? There, Mike.
Sky Portal's good. Yeah.
Astronomy Sky Portal is fantastic. And that's free.
Yeah, there's a ton of them. You can just
Sky
Google
Portal or Starwalk, I guess, is another one.
Yeah. I've got one on my phone here. Just let me see. Let's see.
Stellarium is out there, but I don't know if it's a paid version or not.
Let me see if I can find
it. Yeah, Stellarium is a paid version.
And then there's Sky Safari, but the Sky Safari people that want you to pay for their app actually made the Celestron Sky Portal app.
Okay.
Here's
Yeah.
one. I'm going to open this one up, and it's called. There we go. Dismiss. It's called Skyview. For you probably can't see it. No, you
Skyview.
can't. Anyway, just you can look it up. It's called Skyview Free, and like a lot of these free apps, you can download it, but they don't release all of the stuff that's in the app.
Yeah. Or we'll
But
have
enough
ads or
to hold
yeah.
it up to the sky, and if something's really bright, you can point it toward it. And most of these apps, when you first get them, what you got to do is take your phone, and you got to or basically calibrate your phone, and you kind of do this big figure eight thing. And what that does, that calibrates your phone for the sky, because then when you hold it up, it knows kind of what way that it's pointing. But anyway, yeah, Skyview Free. It's a really cool app. Worked great.
What I liked about Sky Portal is it has an audio portion too, so you can pick a target, hit object, and it'll come up, and you can touch a button, and it'll tell you the description about what it is. It'll tell you a little bit of like audio version that goes with it, which is not included in Sky Safari unless you buy the extra.
Yeah.
So
I'm getting lots of comments here too. People are saying Skyview app, Sky Portal free app, Sky Safari.
Yeah.
Same thing on
there's a ton of them out
YouTube
there
as well. So yeah, Stellarium is an app. It is. I did pay for it. I'm not sure what I paid for it, but Stuart says about $20. That's the pro mode. Yeah.
Yeah. Sky Portal is a free app.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Jason, I've never been able to get blues with a hint of red with my cell phone and 25 to 30-second exposures. How would you adjust to get better detail when you're taking an exposure with your cell phone?
So on your for Orion, I guess that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Blue and red, right?
Yeah.
You'd have to make sure first of all that your cell phone has manual settings in it.
Right.
And then if it's got manual settings, then you're going to have to change your ISO. And you may have to, and if you want to take a real good shot of it, you want to use a relatively high ISO and a relatively low shutter speed. But what you'll have to do is practice with those. So put your camera in the manual mode. You're going to need to adjust your ISO, your shutter speed, and there might be something to do with brightness depending on your phone, and aperture. So those are the three things on a normal camera that you would use. So find those three things, and then don't get too far out with it. Try to get as close as you can to it, because where it's so bright, you want it to light up your screen, and then once you've got in other words, magnify it so you can bring it in closer, and then from there you can go around and try to find the settings that will work. But manual, you'll definitely have to do to get a good picture of it. Awesome,
thanks, Paul. So we got somebody on here who says Skyview is excellent. Bought the pro paid version for $2.50 once. Maggie says Sky Portal works for me. So getting lots of comments back and forth on what types. This is what we were hoping for too, was this conversation. I know Paul's been watching Facebook. I'm trying to watch both things here, but you got YouTube?
I got Facebook. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. I might be copyright.
Jay, with Nebula easy seen with even smaller binoculars. That's true. That one there is for sure. Paul Crowder, Orion, the oldest star map. Ak Valley Tusk fragment, 32,000 years old. Oh.
Wow, that's cool.
That's really cool. Yeah. Wow. And it's interesting if you thought about it when viewing the stars in the constellation, knowing the distances, you still don't really understand it. Yeah, that's true. So Pat Bacon's asking, what holds the stars in that formation? Gravity. Yeah, gravity does hold them in that. Well, they're bound to all other stars as well. So with themselves, if one's 50 light years and one's 65 light years, they may not have a large gravitational influence on each other, but they will have some. I don't know if you wouldn't really call Orion, I don't think, an open cluster, because it's not a cluster of stars. It's just a grouping of stars that happen to be laid out on a flat plane on our sky. So same as the Big Dipper or other constellations, they appear like they're all flat on the sky, but they're not.
Tim, I was just going to show you a picture that Tim Doucette.
Can I just a sec here? I'm going to see if I can do this. I'm going to save Tim. I'm going to you can continue.
I was just going to pull it up. It's right here.
Okay. Yeah, but there's an explanation with it.
Yeah, well, you can give the explanation. I'll put the picture up.
Okay, perfect. Okay. All right. So Tim Doucette sent this picture in, and Tim is down in a place called Quinnen. He's the proprietor of a Deep Sky Eye, which is a park, you must well call it a park, I guess, where it's all about astronomy. And so Tim's down on the northern shore, very handy to Yarmouth. That's where he's hailing from. Anyway, he says in this picture, here's a work in progress, a 3-panel mosaic using a Canon 6D DSLR, and I think and he modified it. He took out the IR cut filter, and it's using a 135 millimeter lens, and at f2, and 30 times 30 seconds for each panel. So how many panels? 3 panels.
3 panels, 96.
3 panels to make this up. So it's like a mosaic. So he's got 3 panels, takes the images, and he'll put them together and stitches them all together. Fantastic.
Look at the detail in there.
Unbelievable. I mean, wow. I mean, you got the Barnard's Loop going on there, which a lot of
Witch
people
head
don't
popping
see.
out in the corner.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't see that, but when they start imaging Orion that wide, all of a sudden they get this big band. They think it's some kind of camera artifact or something.
Oh, Bernard's Loop, yeah.
Bernard's Loop. And
So
look
tell
at
us about
all
some of the
this.
deep sky treasures in that area, Paul. Like what ones
Yeah,
would
okay.
you go after if you were in there? So
Well, actually, Mike, you can use your mouse because you've got the picture up.
Whoop.
So the first one, of course, the horse head. So it's right on the 3
we go
star.
Right in
Right
here.
there, that's it. So on the 3 stars that make up Orion's belt, Alnitak is the one that the horse head and the Flame Nebula are closely associated with.
Yeah.
And then if you look down to Orion itself, the Orion Nebula, M43 and M42, the Orion Nebula, and the Running Man, which is that little blob above Orion. And then if you go up, the big yellow star that everybody thought was going to go supernova
Supernova.
is Betelgeuse. And then on the bottom opposite corner, that's Rigel. And if you look right to the right of Rigel, you can see the Witch Head. And the Witch's Head Nebula, and that's a hard one to catch. And fantastic for getting it, Tim. Amazing. And then there's a whole bunch of other gases and stuff in and around there. But those are the main things that people that actually shoot right in Orion. There's a bunch beside it, like actually the one that's behind me is the Rosette, but that's actually a Monoceros. But it's just out of the view of that picture that Tim took. If he was able to go just a little further left, you'd be able to see this the
Look at the dark in here too. Like
the dark nebula is amazing.
Crazy how it stands out.
Yeah.
Nice shot, Tim.
Yeah,
Okay,
and Tim says also it's light pollution free where he is.
yeah.
There you go.
And makes a big difference in shooting shots like that.
Just as Tim, light pollution is free here too.
Yeah. We don't pay a dime for it. Okay, guys, we're about halfway through our show, so there's our first kick at the can for the constellation of Orion. So let's leave them with a few facts before we sign off of that part.
All right. Well, let's. Okay, who wants to do it first?
Well, you were talking about Betelgeuse, possibility of it going supernova.
Right.
So I thought it was kind of cool to say, well, what would it look like if it did go supernova?
Yeah.
I thought, I looked around. Let me pull up my screen here quickly. Now, I can't enlarge this very well without it getting blurry, but this is a shot, say, in London, England, and if it went supernova at night, look at how bright it would get. There's dark, boom. There's the first poof, and then it grows. I thought that was pretty cool.
That is amazing.
Another one is here. Give it a second. How bright it would get. Now, that would be awesome to see, right?
It would stay like that for a while.
Just incredible. Well, they said it would stay like that for about 3 months, but then got looking and it said, you know something? This is an artist rendering what they think it would look like in the night sky. Just like if you took a photograph. Look how bright that is.
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
Crazy.
That's brighter than the moon.
Here's one more with the
Yikes.
sun at
There you
sunset,
go.
and that's 427 light years away. Now, I was talking with Paul tonight earlier too, saying if it does go supernova, every time there's a supernova explosion, there's a gamma ray burst, and a gamma ray burst is pointed from the poles. Well, they do the math, and they said that they think that the gamma ray burst will miss the Earth because it's 37 degrees off. I hope their math is right. If it's not, we're gone. Simple as that. But it's interesting to see what it will look like if it does go. That's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love to see it. It'll be the most photographed thing in the world.
Oh yeah. I mean, they were talking about a pulsating just last year, a couple of years ago there, and they thought it was about to go, right? But they believed now it was off gas and giving material off into space, and that was blocking our view of Orion or
kind of like relieving pressure or something. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so
cool.
it's the 26th largest constellation in the sky. Betelgeuse is going to go supernova someday. We've got Orion. We found ways to find other constellations using Orion as a signpost. We talked about some of the deep sky objects that are visible in that area of the sky. I guess that's pretty well. And it's our main winter constellation. It's going to be coming up at Fundy National Park in the morning sky.
And one further note on the trapezium. And I'm actually reading this, but this is the trapezium cluster, because somebody asked, what makes it so bright? And so it says the trapezium cluster is a young star cluster that contains hundreds of young stars at various stages of formation. And according to ESA, high-speed jets of hot gas released by some young stars are sending shock waves through the nebula at speeds of 100,000 miles an hour.
Wow.
And the cluster is easily located as the brightest four stars. There are other stars. I think there's 6, if my memory's good, and I should have looked it up, but I didn't. Anyway, it shines at a +4 magnitude.
Wow.
Anyway, that's
right.
Caught in a trap.
Don't sing.
I didn't sing that. I said that.
So Harold was asking how long until we see it after it goes. Well, Harold, it's 642 light years away. So it may have already happened. And we may not know. It may have, if it happened today, we wouldn't see it for 650 years. So it could have happened already, and the light from the explosion just hasn't reached our eye yet. So when we're looking at Betelgeuse, we're seeing it as 642 years old.
True.
That's
and if it does go, they figure we'll see it naked eye for about 3 to 4 months, and then Betelgeuse will be gone. There'll be no Betelgeuse in Orion anymore.
Right.
It's funny, but satellites, comets, asteroids are things that are moving, and I think we see them in real time. But the things that aren't moving toward us are just coming to us in the form of light transmission over the years. So when you're looking into space, I remember Chris used to say that at the outreaches all the time. You are looking at history, and you cannot believe how long ago what you're looking at is.
And the looks on people's faces once they legalize marijuana. Wow. That made it all worth it. I mean, if you look at if you could stand on the moon and have a million candle power flashlight, and I was shining it back at you guys, and you'd be a second and a half before you saw it. If the sun blew up, it would take us 8.5 minutes to know about it, because that's how far away the sun is. I mean, Saturn is 42 light minutes away, and the next closest star is 4 light years away. So when we're looking at Alpha Centauri, it's 4 years that life left there. 26 light years away is Vega. So we're looking, every time we look up in space, we're looking back in time. The sky that we see in the sky is not the sky that we have. No. A lot of those things may have already gone supernova, but we haven't seen the light from their explosions yet. So
thank goodness.
Cool. Yeah, that's right. There goes your dark adaptation with Betelgeuse for sure. So
we saw one actually recently. The most recent was the one in M82, I believe. Cigar Galaxy.
Yep.
And that one was actually caught and saw. It was very short. It was only days, I guess, was it?
Yeah. It was. Renat says they're all moving away from each other too, further dispersing. So yeah, 640 light years is our distance now, but it's expanding, right? So except for in the case of Orion or Andromeda coming in our direction. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And our pole star is changing.
Yeah.
And I think the next one is supposed to be
Vega, 20,000 years.
What is it?
Vega in 20,000 years.
Vega. Yeah, Vega. Yeah. That won't be in our lifetime, but
that's from precession. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let us know what you thought. That was our first go kick at the can there for just a general topic for the first half hour, or I guess we're into more now of our program. So we'll continue with that type of format. It's easy to talk about those things. We got a lot of nice comments and questions here, so I kind of like the way it went about.
Yeah. Your interaction is so appreciated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to some of our regular topics then. They're going to do how about we do a Bino Bud there, Mr. Bino Bud?
Bino Bud. It's a good thing I did one.
Yeah, because I would have called on you.
Alrighty. He should be up on our screen here.
Yep.
Here he is.
So, Binocular Target of the Week this week by Bino Bud is the Mini Beehive.
Oh, beehive, will you?
Definitely worker
beehive.
That's hilarious.
Alrighty.
Love it.
Well, M41 is also known as NGC 2287, is an open cluster in the constellation Canis Major, sometimes referred to as the Little Beehive Cluster. It was discovered around 1654 and was perhaps actually known by Aristotle as far back as 325 BC. It lies about 4 degrees almost exactly due south of Sirius, or Cirrus, however you like to say it, which forms roughly an equilateral triangle with NU2, Canis Major, M41, and Cirrus, and they can all be seen in the same field of view in a pair of binoculars. So how do I find it in the night sky? Well, if you go outside, oops, I forgot to change the time, not 5:30 in the morning, right about now, actually, and look due south, you will look up and see the bright star Sirius, the brightest star in the sky. You can't miss it. And if you come straight down, there is the Mini Beehive, or M41. And where I said it makes an equilateral triangle, it's like this, right across here, these three. So you come straight down from Sirius, and you can't miss it. Again, there's Sirius, the brightest star in the sky. Come down, and there is M41, or the Mini Beehive. What will you see? Well, you won't see this, but this is a beautiful shot.
Wow.
But look at the colors of the stars in there. Like that's beautiful amazing. Blue and yellow, and some red stars. It's just a wonderful, wonderful cluster to look at. Just incredible. And in 10 by 50 binoculars, this is what your field of view is going to look like if you put it in the center. Not bad. It's a good size. You can't miss it. It's right, stands out in amongst the background stars. It's not a problem to find once you start coming down from Sirius. Compared to the full moon, it's a little bit bigger. I'd say 1.5 full moons, give or take. So, yeah, it's a good size object to see. No problem at all. And that is where we end up with this. I couldn't resist that when I saw that shot. Pac-Man Astronomy.
I love it.
And that's Binocular Target of the Week by Bino Bud.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Another great one. Dan Gerhardt, Mike Thorne says, I just stumbled across that last night. So there you go.
There you go.
Awesome.
Hope you didn't trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Paulie. Let's give another Rosanna's fun facts, please.
All right. Well, let's see if we can't make it happen. Number one.
Jamie said she saw it this week with my binoculars as well. Great.
Oh, good.
There.
All right.
Before I show.
Rosanna's fun fact.
Yay. Welcome back, Rosanna, for another wonderful and timely fun fact from our great friend Rosanna. So Rosanna writes, "Hi, Paul. One of our several one of several items that made February a pretty exciting month was the news of the first quadruple asteroid. Astronomers spot a space rock with 3 moons. And here it is. Now, 130 Electra was already special, as astronomers had previously discovered it had 2 moons, making it a rare triple asteroid system. The first moon was discovered in 2003 and the second one in 2014. But recently, Anthony Bardot from the National Astronomical Research Institute of Thailand and colleagues used images from the Very Large Telescope, the VLT, in Chile to take a closer look, and voila, a third moon has been found. It is a paltry 1 mile across, slightly smaller than its siblings at 1.2 and 3.7 miles. It swings around Electra once every 16 hours at only a distance of 220 miles. So if it were standing on Electra, this moon would appear huge to our view. It is so close. Now, even though this news was just published on February the 8th, there was a quick video released on February the 14th showing 130 Electra and its moons orbiting. Now, I don't know if I can play that. I'm going to try. That's a Japanese retro. We don't want to see that, do we? Skip ad. There we go. That's what we're doing. There it is.
Family-friendly episode of the Sunday Night Astronomy.
There's the first
Don't sing.
quadruple asteroid. The astronomers have imagined a third moon orbiting the asteroid, 130 Electra. And look at that.
Wow.
The third moon. Unbelievable. I think there's actual sound with this too, but this is showing basically that in the orbits of those moons. That is
Crazy.
Wow.
Very cool. All right, so that is the video. And another fun space fact released in February. Some of you may have been watching the Winter Olympics. Did you know that Voyager 2, launched in 1977, holds the record for the longest a spacecraft has been operational in deep space? That is very cool.
Yes, sir.
It has been in operational for so long that 23 Olympic Games, including the Winter Olympics, just passed and happened since its launch. That's one way to count time passing. And what's this detective call? Oh, yeah, this was the Olympics. Stop the contest. The Earth, man, is cheating.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So, and also this February, the often secretive Venus did another reveal. And NASA's Parker Solar Probe recently confirmed that this photo that it took of Venus during 2020 flyby is the first visible light image ever to show the planet's surface through its clouds. And I'm not going to play a video for obvious reasons. So, and then this, I'm going to make that larger so you can see it. So there's the Parker Solar Probe here. And then there is the radar image.
Yes, sir.
So the WHSPR WHISPER images extend our observations to red visible light and at the edge of what the human eye can see. Plus, the surface of Venus, even on the night side, is about 860 degrees. It's so hot that the rocky surface of Venus is visibly glowing like a piece of iron from a forge. Now, I think I have a little GIF that I can play to kind of show you. There we go. So we always knew Venus was the hottest planet in the solar system, but she is so hot, she glows. You glow, girl. And that is this week's
Rosanna's Fun Fact.
Yay!
another
I
fun.
love her stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know where she gets all this information.
It's
Oh
always
man, but
interesting.
it's awesome.
It's always interesting.
Crazy.
It's awesome. Yeah,
Thank you again,
yeah,
Rosanna.
unbelievable. Thank you very much,
Yes,
Rosanna.
thank you very much once more. And
Yeah.
okay, from there we're going to go to maybe a quick what's up. I got that.
What's up?
What's up? What's
What's
up?
up?
What up?
Where did I put that? Oh, where did I put it? Oh.
What's up? That's what's up.
Oh. Thought I put it in there. Did I not put it in there?
You went and put it down, didn't you? Instead of up.
I think I
You
put
gotta
it
put it.
someplace. I
Put it
put it
away.
someplace. I put it away, and I said it's good. It's right there, and I know where it's going to be. How many
Like a
times have I
sting
done
around
that?
my finger. I can't remember why I tied it.
You do that.
Is it the right one? Let's see if this is the right one. Oh, that's not it. Oh well, maybe we'll have to find it later on the next episode.
Oh,
Hmm.
The What's Up episode.
I know I did one. Oh, maybe it's here. Ah, no. Yeah, that there is. Okay. Hey.
Hey.
Now where's it going to open up? I double clicked on it. Where'd it go?
I think it's the first time we've done this show, isn't it?
I think it probably is.
We'll have to practice.
Indeed.
Is it this one? I want that one. There it is. Okay. I think it's this one. Okay. Let me share my screen. And I'm quite sure it's this guy. Slideshow. Beginning. There. Hopefully that's it.
There you go.
Okay.
Look, it says this week. So.
Yeah, what's up there? Yeah, well, it always says that. Nice try. Okay, just a quick view of what's up this week in our morning and evening sky. So first of all, I just want to take a little look at this first because this is kind of important. When I mention something is 4 degrees away from something else or half a degree away from that, these are the measurements that we use to measure the night sky or the daytime sky. So your pinky finger is 1 degree, 3 fingers is 5 degrees, your fist is 10 degrees, your index finger and your pinky finger extended out is 15 degrees of sky, and then your thumb and your index or your pinky finger stretched out is 25 degrees. So that shows you how large the Big Dipper is. So just that is a little reference, I guess. So looking southeast before sunrise all month long, well, at least till the end of the month, pretty close to the end of the month. Look to the southeast before sunrise all month to view brilliant Venus and reddish Mars. They've been very apparent there in our morning sky. Mars is a little bit harder to see. You need to catch it before sunrise for sure, or as early as you can, I guess, after it rises. Both planets will be less than a binocular width apart all month, so that's 5 degrees, less than 5 degrees. Now our view at the end of the month is going to look like this, though. This is the one to look forward to. So we're getting into a lot of these this year. Maybe you had them last year too. I just didn't notice them. But we have Venus, Mars, and Saturn forming a nice celestial triangle with a 26-day-old moon on the 28th of March. So something to look forward to. I'll remind everybody about that in coming weeks. But lots of those type of events coming up. Tuesday, March the 1st, Vesta, a little asteroid Vesta with Venus and Mars. Now here's a challenge on Tuesday morning. See if you can spot the asteroid Vesta as it sits between brilliant Venus and the red planet Mars. All three will fit in the same field of view of binoculars, but Vesta is not very bright. You can try and use a star 56 SGR right there as a guide. It's about 2 degrees or 2 widths of your pinky finger below and to the right of Venus. Now, Vesta is the second most massive body in the main asteroid belt, accounting for almost 9% of all the total mass of all the asteroids. Only dwarf planet Ceres is more massive. And that's it up in the top right-hand corner there. NASA's Dawn spacecraft circled Vesta from July the 16th, 2011 till September the 5th, 2012, when it departed and began its journey towards the dwarf planet Ceres. So you could just say that, you know, if you pass through here with a set of binoculars, you get bright Venus in one corner and you get Mars down at the bottom, and right around the center where your hands would attach together, your hour and your minute hand, is Vesta. And you can say you saw an asteroid. Hey, it's not going to be very bright though. Wednesday morning, For Wednesday day, new moon. Our new moon arrives at 13:34 p.m. Atlantic time on Wednesday. Now, these few days on either side of the new moon provide the best times to try and view those deep sky treasures we call the faint fuzzies, the galaxies, nebula, and more that elude us during the light of the moon. So this month also the Messiers are calling. So what is the Messiers? Well, there's something coming up called the Messier Marathon, and these are the 110 objects that were discovered by Charles Messier. This is a complete picture of them all. Well, what is the Messier list? The Messier objects are a set of 110 astronomical objects cataloged by the French astronomer Charles Messier. Because Messier was only interested in finding comets, he created a list of those non-comet objects that frustrated him in his hunt for them. The compilation of this list, in collaboration with his assistant Pierre Mecan, is known as the Messier Catalog. And this catalog of objects is one of the most famous lists of astronomical objects, and many Messier objects are still referenced by their Messier number. The catalog includes the most of the astronomical deep sky objects that can be seen and visibly observed from Earth's northern hemisphere. Now, many Messier objects are popular targets for amateur astronomers, like M42, the Orion Nebula, or M45, the Pleiades cluster, etc. What is the marathon, though? The marathon is a term describing the attempt to find as many of those Messier objects as possible in one night. But depending on the location of the observer and the season, there is a different number of them visible, as they are not evenly distributed throughout the celestial sphere. They are heavily crowded in regions of the sky, especially in the Virgo cluster. You see Leo coming up now, and Virgo comes up behind it in the evening sky. And the region around the galactic center, which is, of course, the Sagittarius area, while other regions are virtually empty of them. Now, this leads to the chance to observe all 110 Messier objects in one night, again, depending on your latitude. This opportunity occurs once every year, around mid to end March. Actually, it's 2 opportunities this year. The best time to try is, of course, when the moon is near its new phase, like it is this week. Now, this year, the new moon will occur, so we set it up usually for a weekend event. This year, the new moon will occur on March the 2nd, and again on April the 1st. So the weekends closest to this are March the 5th, 6th, that's this coming weekend, and April the 2nd, 3rd, respectively, with the second one being the slightly preferred opportunity for mid-northern latitudes, our latitudes. So there will be 2 options, with the first being the secondary one on the weekend of March the 5th and 6th, and the second being the primary one on the weekend of April 2nd, 3rd. For attempting a full score of 110, a considerably low northern latitude should be considered. So that's a little bit about the Messiers. Wednesday, March the 2nd, we could talk a bit about, or maybe a bit more about those next week, because I really believe the second opportunity is going to be the better one. Wednesday, again, Mercury and Saturn. Also on Wednesday, look very low to the east-southeast before sunrise for a view of little Mercury and the ring beauty Saturn. They're going to be very close together. Although difficult to compete against the brightening sunrise, they should appear very close together in the same field of view of binoculars. Now, you might pick them up binoculars, maybe a small telescope even. They're going to be less than 1 degree apart, or less than the thickness of your pinky finger held at the end of your arm. So very close. And what's going to be happening is Saturn's going to be climbing higher in our morning sky, and Mercury's dropping. So Saturn will take the place of Mercury in our morning sky for a while. And moving on from that, on Thursday, we have the day-old moon. This is always a nice challenge. On Thursday evening, look to the west to see if you can spot the day-old crescent moon, just 25 hours old at 7 p.m. local time. It's always a satisfying challenge if you do capture it. Give it a try with binos, being careful, of course, not to look before sunset. So we'll just have a very, very tiny, slim sliver there. I've always tried to get that whatever months are clear. And it's a lot of fun to scope the sky and try to catch it before it sets. I get weird ways of describing fun, don't I? Yeah. Okay, and on Sunday, March the 6th, the moon, I'm not going to say this. I could say this differently, but it's a family-friendly show, so it's the moon near Uranus. On Sunday, our waxing moon will appear just 4 degrees from the planet Uranus, although this means that both would fit in the same field of view of binoculars. Since the moon is so bright, it would be still very difficult to spot Uranus, but it would provide you with a guide to find it. So best way would be to find the moon and then move up towards Uranus and keep the moon out of your field of view so that you could spot it. So it's going to appear like a very soft dot. Nothing more than that, really, with binoculars or even with a telescope. You're certainly not going to see any features on it, if there are any. It's a pretty bland planet. And ISS passes. Well, there's a few ISS passes this week that are passing over our local area anyway. We've got a nice bright one here on Sunday, again, next Sunday, minus 3.5. The lower the number, the brighter the pass. So that's going to pass about 68 degrees above our heads, so that's pretty high up. And it goes from 5:58 until 6:04, so that's a good 6-minute pass. So that's one I would be looking forward to next Sunday, but there are a number of ones here, minus 2, minus 2.7, so they're still pretty good passes. They're just not as high, that's all. So you can go to heavensabove.com to find those passes in your area. And as always, St. John Astronomy Club, we are members of the three of us. sjastronomy.ca was where we post activities coming up or events coming up. Right at the moment, there's no personal outreach at all. Lisa, looking for Lisa's map. I didn't see Lisa's March map. I would have shared that tonight, but we'll share it next week for sure. But anyway, this is where I get a lot of my data for what I'm looking at for what's coming up in the week sky. So check us out at sjastronomy.ca. And that's about it for that part.
Ta-da.
Ta-da. Not a whole lot happening, but a couple of nice conjunctions coming up, and we're leading up to the big event, the lunar eclipse coming up in May. That's probably going to be the bigger event, the closer one, and then we've got another lunar eclipse in November. Of course, all of this is leading to our total solar eclipse coming up in 2024.
Wow. That's coming fast.
It's coming fast, and actually in 2025 we have one that's going to be 83%. So that's in March of 2025. So we've got two really back to back there. Kind of nice. Okay, then we got some photos to share, right?
Yes.
All right, let me get some of them up. Just need a second for those. You guys watching comments there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Haven't really been watching much. Okay. Photos. Should be this folder. Okay, let's see if this works out. I'm going to share my screen once more. Okay, so we should have a picture up there.
There we go.
Yep, good. Okay, so this one's from David Smart. David said moonshot on the 21st of this month with a bit of work on Photoshop. A picture was taken with his Ioptron mount and the 60mm solar telescope and the Next Image 5. So
Cool.
not bad.
Very nice.
Solar telescope?
Yeah, well, he calls it a solar telescope. I think he's using it for the sun, but it's a 60mm
okay.
Ioptron.
Right.
I'll show it. Actually, he sent a picture in of it too, so I'm going to show you that in a second. And here's this capture of Venus, morning of the 25th, using my usual set up of 60mm and Next Image 5. I tried Venus with a blue filter and the moon as well. I should make research the better filter to take picture of Venus. I think it's a little bit better with I think it's an orange filter maybe.
Yeah.
And here's this capture of the moon.
There.
Yeah, that came out pretty good.
Excellent.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
And here's the scope he's using right there.
Oh,
Solar
yeah.
60.
Okay.
Solar 60, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Not bad for a 60mm scope.
Hey, it's working great.
Yep.
Doing a job.
There's a camera set up, there's a laptop set up and everything.
Totes come in handy, don't they?
Those That's a
You know,
MacGyver right there.
The thing that he's got there that's really important for those whoever decide to pick up white light filters or however you want to look at the sun. Those tubs in the blanket that he's got there,
Yeah.
that's so that you can actually see what's going on. Because if you try to put your laptop just on a table outside when you're trying to view the sun, you'll never see anything
Right.
because it's too bright.
Yeah.
So so he's got that tucked into one of those little tubs, and you sit on the chair. You can see right in front of it, and put that towel over your head, and then that takes all the glare away, and you can see stuff just great. Because if you're trying to image, you got to get it in focus, and
Yeah.
if you can't see it, you can't focus it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
great job, Dave.
Good stuff, Dave. Yeah. All right. Let's going to move on to Brad Perry now. Brad said, "Hi, Chris.
Oh,
Here's my capture from this morning, Saturday. Actually, on Venus, Mars, and the crescent moon, the Milky
nice
Way, and
shot.
Antares over on the
Very
right.
nice shot.
So there's Antares. Yeah. There's this crescent moon, Venus and Mars, and the
That's
Milky
cool.
Way. Not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
He said it was an early and chilly morning, but there wasn't a cloud in the sky. So once I got out there, it was a perfect way to start the day. He said he used
Yeah.
the Sony A6000, 23 millimeter f4, 5 seconds, 40 light frames and 20 dark frames.
Those stars are going right to the horizon.
Yeah, there.
Wow.
5:40 a.m. on the side of the highway near Nashwauk Bridge. The side of the highway. Yeah, be careful out there.
Yep.
Put some traffic cones out. Good
Summer's
stuff, Brad.
coming. Look.
Yeah, exactly. Good stuff, Brad. Yeah. All right, here's another one he sent in. He said the clouds, this was from today. The clouds weren't really on my side this morning, but I managed to briefly catch the 3 of the 4 together. So there was
There you go.
Venus, and there's Mars, and the
Mars
crescent
and the
moon.
moon.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. That's
nice,
fantastic.
eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know Saturn and Mercury were this way, but that's the 3 main ones right there. So good job with that cloudy sky. You did well.
Yeah, very well.
Okay, from there we're going to go to Kathy Adams. Kathy sent this one in. She said it's been pretty quiet this week, just a couple of solar images. The first was a single shot with my Celestron 6 SE and my A6000. She's got that mastered now, doesn't she?
He does.
Yeah. She's doing well with it.
Excellent.
And she says the second was with my Celestron and my ZWO ASI 224. Excuse me, the 6,000 frame AVI captured with Sharp Cap and processed in PIP, auto stackered, and Photoshop.
Right on.
I have to say it was awesome to get out under a nice warm sunny day again. You bet.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
the warmer sunny days are on their way. We just believe that that's a warmer day. That's what we've been through.
Yeah. We've
It's
been
not really warm.
climatized.
Yeah. Come August, you're not going to think that was a warm day. Stefan Picard sent this one in. He said, "Hi, Chris. I caught the Seagull Nebula over a couple of nights, Thursday and last night. And it turned out to be such an interesting target once I get deeper into the processing with the structure and the gas clouds." I said the Seagull is in the round portion, upper middle, and where dark gas clouds form the shape of a seagull, but I am unfortunately a little wide field to clearly see it, but you can tell it's there. You sure can.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Nicely done,
Right
Stefan.
on.
Yes.
Well done.
So he's using a Canon T1i, 300 millimeter, a 60 minutes integration, and captured on the 24th and 26th. Well done.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah. Good work.
Okay, up next we have Jamie. Why not? Here, Jamie sent us in this one. "Hi, Chris. I snapped this photo with my iPhone of the waning crescent moon and Venus around 6:40 Saturday morning. I was out with a dog in this cold, clear morning after yet another storm. Yes, we feel your pain, Jamie, but nice capture. Good to see that you got it. It's so nice to get up in the morning and see something like that, though. Like, just on your way to work and you'd look up and you see that. And, wow, it's going to be a good day.
Yeah.
Well done. Thank you, Jamie. Matthew Dupre sent in this one. I captured the Orion Flame and the Horsehead Nebula in my first shot in just a few exposures stacked. And the second is some reprocessed data of the Western. I'm going to get onto that here in a second, but there's this capture of that. Really nice, huh?
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Here's this capture
There you go.
Western Veil Nebula. That's
Nice
a beautiful.
job.
That's a beautiful. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Cygnus, but that's the one I like the most right there.
Yeah.
That's, did he say what he's using on that?
No, he didn't. No.
Okay.
But it's well done.
Good
Yeah.
ribbons in there. Love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful job.
Never gets old.
And this one, this is the last, is some overexposed shots of the ISS. Wow, good for you.
Wow.
Awesome.
Nice.
I love it.
Well done.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Wendy Daggett sent these in. Wendy's, I think she's the first time contributor here. Not great pics, but having dogs are great motivation to be out and early. That's for sure. Whatever works.
Hey, that beautiful morning.
Yeah. She said these pics are just with my phone, but I could see Mars as well. It really doesn't show in these pics. She says, thank you for your info on the site. Really enjoy following. So
Excellent.
I really enjoy having you here, Wendy.
Yes, sir.
There, right there. Yeah. Nicely
Well
done.
done.
Good job.
Pretty shot there this morning. And there's a second capture. And
Yes,
there's a
sir.
third. There's Mars sitting there.
Yeah.
So yeah, she
Yeah.
got it. Good stuff. Thanks, Wendy. We got this one from Claire Reed Newman. Claire's from Scotland there. She's tuned in, I believe, tonight here. Hi, guys. As you'll be discussing Orion on this week's show, I thought I'd share my photo of Orion in a rare, clear sky in Scotland this week.
Yeah.
You know what's cool about that picture? And maybe it's obvious for those who it isn't. The belt of Orion is following the branch that way, and then
Yeah.
the sword
The other one.
following the branch.
Yeah, the other way.
I noticed that was the first thing I picked up too. I
Yeah.
went, wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
awesome. She said, I just got myself a new camera and thought it's not a great camera. It's given me a lot of fun, and that's the main thing, isn't it? Absolutely, Claire. That is the main thing. Get out
Yeah.
there and practice and have fun.
Matthew said he was using a Celestron 9 1/4 and a Hyperstar and a Canon T3.
Awesome.
That's
Thank you,
a
Matthew.
great job.
Thanks for the information.
Thanks for Matthew I appreciate that.
Yeah. Very creative capture for sure, Lisa. Okay, we got this one from Stu Tingley. Stu says, hi, Chris. Hope you're not stressing out too much about tonight's show.
No, he never does.
No.
No, that's
A
right.
little more relaxed tonight. That was good. Here's a couple of pathetic photos, he says, taken from my yard in Cocan, Kent County. That will kill a few seconds if you decide to use them. They're not quite showstoppers, but they are my first attempts at photographing anything in the sky besides the moon and birds in flight. You did well.
There you go. That's
Good
just
job,
what we were
Stuart.
talking about
Good
with the
job.
Orion Nebula.
Yeah, the Orion Nebula. And then he's got the Pleiades here on Thursday, he said.
Yes, sir.
Well, sir, you can surely see the formation, eh?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. I love the little tail that trails off
yeah,
on the end of it. Yeah.
this here, yeah.
Yeah.
And he said he's got this one, the moon and Venus, 6:30 this morning.
Somebody stole Mars.
Somebody stole Mars.
It's probably behind the greater than sign.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
This morning he said with Cocan Bay and Cocan Island in the foreground. Nice.
Beautiful shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Point
nice.
and shoot zoom camera with the manual settings on the tripod.
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah,
well
that's
done.
fantastic. So clean, eh?
Yeah.
Good job, Stu. Keep it up, buddy. Send us in some more next week. And Adam Palmer sent this one in just outside Grand Bay, Westfield. This was the view from living room this morning. There you go.
Wow.
Very
Look at
nice.
the colors.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
What a living room view. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Adam. Thanks for that. Glenn put these ones on the astro imaging page there, but I grabbed them
Oh,
anyway.
yeah.
So,
Isn't that beautiful?
yeah.
Love that.
He said,
Love
I
it.
wanted to so bad, but it was so cold out. I must be getting old. He said single night mode shot from my iPhone, and he said the selfie mode was in normal mode.
It's
Selfie
bundled
was
up.
normal mode.
Players
Yeah.
need it.
He zipped up pretty good there, I'd say.
Yeah, I say. Good job,
That's
Glenn.
awesome.
This one came from Chris Benoit. This is another one I grabbed. Their latest moons, his latest moon captures. Nice.
Very nice. You know what's cool about that image?
I love
I
the
never
moon
noticed-
background.
The moon's in the
Yeah,
background.
the background. It's,
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it.
Really
That's
well
cool.
done.
Very
Great
nice.
job, Chris. Alan Burgess, yeah, we were just talking about
Yeah.
this one.
Very nice.
I
NGC
mentioned that
2359, Thor's helmet.
I've never shot that, and I'm going to now because
Really? Oh, yeah, that's that.
No, you stay away from that.
Yeah.
You just
Leave
stay
it
away
alone.
from that.
that is a cool target.
Yeah, and you just stay away from that.
All right, all right.
35-minute subs. Some got rejected. He said processed with pics and sight, used flats, darks, and dark flats.
Nice shot.
Very
Shot
nice.
at f10 2032 millimeter. Going to hit this one again, he said, with a 0.7 reducer. So there you go.
Right on.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
But the nice thing about that resolution is anyway, it's nice.
Yeah, what's this one?
I don't know.
Yeah, so this is one Paul's working on at the moment. The Rosette Nebula.
Yeah. Yeah. I shot. This is just the almost test images that this is, but I shot that last night, shooting hydrogen alpha, oxygen 3, and sulfur 2. Now, sulfur 2 is all that, I call it pitchfork looking stuff. Of course, I don't have a mouse,
Yeah.
but if you go down to the bottom, yeah, right there,
Yeah.
that whole area, that's
Yeah.
where all that S2 stuff is. And so it's in there, but it's not real definitive yet. So actually, as we're speaking, I'm shooting that right now, and so I'll fill that back in. But I've always wanted to shoot the rosette in narrow band,
Right.
And so for those who are familiar with the Rosette Nebula, you're normally used to seeing it red, and obviously red like a rose, and it's shaped like a rose. But when you image it in narrow band, it really shows a lot more of what's going on within the structure, and so that's why a lot of people choose these colors, these false colors, is because you can see a lot more of the structure. So
Detail's incredible, Paul. That's
Yeah.
yeah,
Amazing, Paul.
it's coming along. But I mean, this is something basically, if you have the setup, you can do it. I do it in my backyard. I mean, it's not like you got to go to, the skies of Chile to do this. And that's the other advantage of narrowband, is you can be shooting the hydrogen alpha and the sulfur 2, even if the moon's up.
yeah.
So so it gives you more opportunities, providing that there's no clouds up there, of course.
Couldn't do that 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you see a guy like Chuck Ayub down in Detroit,
Yeah.
and he's getting APODs all the time, and he's 20 minutes from the Detroit airport.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and he shoots stuff like it's just unbelievable because of these the filters that are available now. You can do that. So even if you're in a situation like that, you can still enjoy astrophotography. So
Right.
You're getting Hubble shots from your backyard. That's the way I see
Yeah.
it, man. They're crazy.
I know.
yeah,
Crazy shots.
Light pollution doesn't matter.
no,
Awesome
not anymore.
project, Paul. Can't wait for the final result.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, it's
amazing.
going to be fun putting it together.
We got this one from Joey Craswell. Joey, of course, he got a new 8-inch Dob. Sony tells us to do to him, 8-inch Dob. He said he shot this with the iPhone 12.
Right on.
5-second exposure on night mode. Picture I took of the nebula was edited on cell phone to enhance the color. And the original is less dramatic for sure. Cell phone picture. So there you go.
Still, you can see the
You know
stars
what?
in the trapezium on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say he's got the trap in there. That's fantastic.
Not bad.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, you sent this one along. He said the Sunday night show on the big screen. Great
Awesome.
singing voice you have there. I said, no, not going there. Anyway,
I love it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
so I think that's all we got for this week.
I put that up in the living room, I'd be kicked out of the house.
There's a couple of comments over here I want to catch. Paul Crowder is here with us. Hey, Paul. I always get asked what to see in the night sky. My answer is always the same here in the UK: clouds. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
same here.
We feel your pain. Yep. Chris Larson asked, "Can love your What's Up segment each week? You focused on some great topics. Is there any chance you can post a PDF of this section? I will try to do that, so you can take it with you outside. I will do my best there, Chris, for that. Just need a little bit of time to get that together." But I'll continue that going forward as well. Okay, so everybody, we're all caught up, I guess, in all comments, and all looks good. All right, so let's. What's next? I think it's time to say goodbye. I'm not singing it.
Is it? Oh my gosh, it's after 9 already.
Yeah.
Tonight was so much fun. I got to
was.
say before we go that that this new format is fantastic, and we hope you guys like it out there. But for me, anyway, I'm just speaking for me. I can't speak for Mike and Chris, but it was nice because you focus on one thing and you learn so much about that one thing, and it's really cool to have the interaction from everybody out there and the questions and that. So
Yeah.
thank
I find
you.
it so much more relaxed. Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't have to prepare as much this week either, so I felt a little bit more relaxed. I mean, to keep it formal and to hit everybody with so many facts, it's just you're walking away with nothing really, and that's not the idea of the program. It's a teaching segment here that we're trying to get to, right? So I think if we lead with a few facts and just have a nice general discussion and your comments in from everybody as well, this is what we want the show to be moving forward. So hopefully you enjoyed tonight's episode and that part of our show. And let us know in the comments, please, and on anything that you might like us to change down the road as well. So, and as well, don't forget to send your photos into Sunday Night Astronomy Show at gmail.com. We love getting your photos. Put them up on the page if you like, and I can grab them from there. You can see I've been grabbing them from all different places, so I'm not shy. I take them wherever I want. So, anyway, so for now then, I guess closing tonight, we want to thank everybody for your continued support out there. A special thanks again, of course, to Rosanna for her wonderful fun facts episodes. Thank you, Rosanna. Of course, to Trudy and everybody else who shares our show before we're live and while we're live. We really do appreciate. We love getting out to a larger audience, so you're really helping us a lot. Thank you. And remember too, we do love getting your photos. Send them in to Sunday Night Astronomy Show at gmail.com. We also looking for suggestions for topics for future shows, so we can get this kind of a point across now. We know that we're going to talk about one particular topic next week as well. So if you have anything that you'd like us to talk about on a future episode, please send them into the same address. And please let your friends and family know as well that we are here every Sunday night to try to edutain you. Not singing. I'm just having a hard time not singing. So for now, I could now because the show's over anyway. So for now then, from Mike, Paul, and I, stay safe, everybody out there. Wish you all clear skies, and we hope to see you again here next week. And as we like to say, guys, keep your scopes
Pointed up.
Always up.
Have a great week, everybody. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
We'll cue the music. Thumbs up for Ukraine, guys.
Yes, yes.
We're praying for Ukraine.